What's up, YouTube fans? Today, we're going to take a look at the Magic Square Light of Justice, their version of a Legend Scale Optimus Prime. So this is very similar to the MP version that they made. I did review on this channel. I had it for a while. Unfortunately, I sold it when I got some other Optimus Primes. Too many Optimus Primes. But this one is very, very similar in terms of the design, engineering, transformation. But we're going to take a look at this. This is an older figure, released, I believe, in 2019. But still a good figure, still a lot of fun. There's a lot of reissues, a lot of recolors of this guy. We're just looking at the original one here. So let's take a look up close. You can see you've got the silver paint for the crest and for the mouth plate. Translucent eyes, which is light piped here. I'm not a big fan of light piping, but especially in a small figure like this. But it does look good in my review area here. You have blue paint here with the silver windshield wipers, silver for the chest plate, yellow for the waist plate here, and then moving down you have the lighter blue on the vents and on the foot. Coming to the side, you do have the paint on the gas tank, and then here's the back, which we'll see more in the vehicle mode. Relatively clean for a small figure like this. Overall, pretty nice looking. You do get some accessories with this guy, so you do get this collector's card here. It says Magic Square Light of Justice. Here is the back. It's tech specs. The artwork on both sides is directly from the MP scale version, so that's nice, and it's what I would expect. You also get his blaster here. It's got the silver paint there on both sides. That can fit in his fist here, which is one of the fist options you have, which is just a standard round fist. And you can get that pegged in. It is a little bit on the tight side, so I'm not even sure if that's supposed to go in there or not, but it does go in, it's just tight. You also get some other fists. So you get this one here, which is kind of a gripping hand slash trigger hand here. That looks nice, and you can take this off. Basically, it's on a peg, just like other figures like this size. And then you can peg the gun into that one. I actually think that looks a little bit better in terms of the style. You also get a open hand like this. A pointing hand. Got to have a pointing hand if you're Optimus Prime. And another trigger slash loose grip hand. Like that. You also get this one here, which is interesting. I think it's for actually a different character. I think it's for Ultra Magnus, but I'm not quite sure. I guess it's to open the Matrix or to hold the Matrix or pass the Matrix. I'm not 100% on this one. But there you go. You also get in the box, these are actually loose, the smokestacks. You have to attach them yourselves. There are shorter ones, so if you prefer the shorter ones, you can put those on instead of longer ones. I left those on just because, I don't know, they were easier to put in and they look fine. And you also get the classic Energon X in a translucent orange. That just pegs in just like all the other arms or hands. And he can have his traditional look there for Optimus. You also get a few other cool accessories. So you get roller here, which is really cool. And he does actually roll. He's got tiny little wheels. These things are tiny. It looks good. He's got them painted red there for the little light. These wheels are just cast plastic. Looks good. You also get the trailer, of course, and the trailer can be turned into the repair bay. By the way, all the accessories were stored inside this trailer in the box, so that was a good use of the packaging. Basically, you can get this back here, take out the repair drone, fold out his radar dish and the arm, and now he can be working on Optimus Prime. And that's kind of cool. So however you want to do that, there you go. Let's go over his articulation. The head is on a panel here, so that panel does move up and down, but the head itself is on a ball joint. So you get up and down, not much side to side, rotates all the way around. The ears are a little bit on the bent side, but it's all right. The shoulders work exactly the same as the MP version. They have a butterfly joint like that, and they can go in and out. You can get it up to there on that joint, rotates all the way around on that joint. You have a rotation at the bicep. Double joint to elbow gets you the full bend. You have a wrist rotation, although if you have the gun in there, it's not going to work. Wrist rotation. You have a rotation at the bicep. You have a huge ab crunch because of the way they've designed this. It does break the sculpt, obviously, but that's the same as the MP version as well. You can get it all the way down. You can also get it backwards if you need him falling backwards. Again, it does break the sculpt a little bit. And obviously a rotation. You have hip skirts here. Now these work exactly the same way. I don't love the way they look because it sticks out, but you can open these up. There's a single hip skirt on the front, and then you can get this leg, and this one doesn't work very well. It kind of kicks this out of the way, so you have to sort of lift up the waist, and then you can lift up that, and then you can lift the leg up. Otherwise it kind of collides. Goes back to there, out to the side, rotation at the thigh. You have a double jointed knee. Double jointed knee gets you past 90 degrees. On the foot, you have an ankle tilt all the way up to there, toe tilt, and a pivot. Yeah, and we have a pivot as well. So all the same articulation on the Masterpiece. In fact, I'm sure they just used the exact same design for this one as they did for that one. And for a quick size comparison, there is Light of Justice next to the New Age version of Megatron. We will be reviewing this guy as well. He's really cool. But basically the exact same size. So that's interesting. I thought people were telling me these were different scales between Magic Square and New Age, but they seem to be roughly the same here. So now let's get Light of Justice transformed into his truck mode. Right before we do that though, let's take a look, because what would an Optimus Prime Transformer be without his matrix? So he does come with this matrix right here. It is painted with the classic copper. It's got a blue gem in the middle and then silver around for the handle. It does kind of peg into here, so you can see there's a little spot to get it pegged in. It is really tiny, so but it does peg in. You can close it and put it in there. I didn't want to leave that out. So now that we have that, let's get him transformed. Go ahead and open up the ab crunch there. Pull out the chest piece here. We're going to flip this around to the front and then rotate that to the bottom. Come to the back here. You can pull this head down and away. Fold these ab panels down. Rotate them to the front. Again, very similar to the Masterpiece version. Get these panels rotated upwards. As you can see, they're going to make the front of the truck. Same on this side. Rotate it down to the front. And a little bit of collision here, but there we go. There are two slots here on the front of this, so they're going to slot into the front of the truck. Before we do put all that in place, you do have to rotate this waist. So let's do that. Right, now we can get this all squared away here. There we go. So get those kind of pushed in together. Go ahead and you can close this front grille. And if it doesn't fit, you don't have this compacted all the way. Right, just leave the arms out to the side. Come to the back here, you're going to open up this panel here. And flip down this piece here. Take the head, and that's going to rotate to the back. Rotate the head around. And it's going to sit in that groove right there. Then you can close this up. And that's going to sit right back in the spot where we took it out. There we go. next we'll take care of the arms. So go ahead and come to the back here, pull these panels out, flip the hand inwards, and then these are going to rotate into the side of the vehicle. Compress the arm down and then just get it slotted in there. Right, same on this side. Open up the back of the arm, rotate this panel out, rotate the hand inwards, compress this down, fold this back. Very G1 Optimus-y. And we got basically the front of the truck pretty much done. Not sure why this isn't sitting right. I must have something not quite right. Let's continue on with the legs. So for the legs, you're going to come to the back here, open up this panel. That's going to unpeg from the side there. Pull the wheel assembly out of here. And rotate this around. This is going to unaccordion from inside his leg. You can see you got the gas tank and part of the truck there. The whole leg is going to accordion back down into the back of the leg. Take this panel here, that's going to peg in right here. There we go. Take the foot's going to fold flat, and then the bottom of the heel is going to fold upwards. And it's going to end up looking like that. And now we can do the other side. Actually, no, let's finish this panel here. So this is going to accordion down and in, and then fold inside the leg. Right. So same thing on the other side. Go ahead and open up this panel here, unpeg it from the side, like so. Pull the wheel out. And this is going to extend outwards and then rotate around. Collapse the leg down on itself and then open up this engine, or the engine. Open up the gas tank and then collapse this leg back down. Get this accordion in and down into the leg. Let's not forget about the foot. We'll collapse the foot down. You can take these two pieces, and there's two pegs there, just going to peg in together. So give that a good squeeze. This is actually going to peg into the back there, so make sure you get that. There are some slight differences between the Masterpiece version and this one, but ultimately they're very, very close in terms of how they transform. Go ahead and get these pegged back into the sides. Probably wait till the end to do that. That's probably easiest to do once you're all done. Otherwise it might pop out as you're manipulating it. And there is Light of Justice transformed into his truck mode. You'll notice I didn't have the smokestacks attached, and that's because it's just easier to transform without it. But you can also change them out, so you can choose between the longer and the shorter ones. I'm going to put the longer ones on. I just think they make more sense in this mode. But of course you can choose whichever ones you prefer. And looks good. I do prefer how they did the Masterpiece version, where they were kind of attached, but either way, there you go. Of course you can attach the trailer, so there is a little hitch right there. It doesn't really peg in, it's just there's a little tiny slot right there where it sits, and it just kind of sits in that groove. It's not really attached per se, but it does have nice rotation and movement. The whole thing rolls very smoothly, even on my unsmooth surface here, and that looks really good. You can of course open up the trailer and put roller in here, and if you want he can be rolling in or out of the trailer, or you can just store him in there and put those ramps back in. For a quick size comparison, since I don't have any other Legends to compare to, here's my core class Optimus Prime from Hasbro. You can see much better looking version of the cab here. Of course it is a much more expensive product too. Also bigger, I mean, so core class is meant to be a smaller scale, but you can just see how well done this cab is. Final thoughts on the Magic Square Light of Justice. Let's start with the positives. I think he comes with a lot of really nice accessories. You get the trailer here, that looks really nice. It's painted well and all the features work. You get the nice roller here. It's also painted well and works well. You get his axe, the gun, all of the separate hands and the swap out versions of the smokestacks. All of that stuff works well and looks good, and it kind of adds to the value of this figure. I also think he looks pretty good. He's a really good looking Legend scale Optimus. Probably the best out there right now in terms of look. Now, we are getting the New Age version that's coming soon, so we don't know how that's going to stack up. And also, we're getting the Magic Square Legends, the version 2 of this. So those might be better. But right now, I think this is the best one out on the market in terms of Legend scale Optimus Primes. Negatives-wise, the plastics do feel like Magic Squares are a little bit on the soft side, a little bit mushy, and that does tend to have some of the joints become loose over time. So, things like this, because it's a soft plastic, you got a pin in a soft plastic, it does end up getting soft. Now, it still holds, but I do have a worry over time that this will become loose. So, Michael Rogers, just be forewarned, you don't want to transform this too many times. That's really it for negatives. I think it's a good figure. I do recommend it. With the new versions coming out, I'm not sure if it's going to be the best, but it's definitely the best out there right now. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.